Hey guys, Jason DeLong here with Heartland Homes KC Real Estate. I'm talking with Saul Kittelson today. He is our preferred lender and for many reasons, but I want to introduce Saul. Saul, how you doing today?
I'm good, Jason. I'm good. Thank you for the opportunity to spend some time with you this morning.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's always, this is, we talk about getting together, but I guess this is as good as it's going to get, right? On a Zoom.
Yeah. I mean, you're not busy, are you? You don't have anything going on?
A little bit, a little bit. Um, but no, we have a good relationship, and we feel very comfortable, sending our clients over to you when they're in need of a loan. But I wanted to kind of dig a little deeper in that, and then maybe we can talk about the market a little bit since that's kind of the buzz right now, and maybe give some tips and tricks to help buyers to navigate these, fluctuating interest rates and in this market. So first, I want to, give me your background and kind of how that relates to you as a lender now and how you work with your clients.
Yeah. And it's kind of a unique story. My career hasn't always been in finance and hasn't always been in the mortgage lending world. In fact, I spent almost a decade as a high school football coach and teacher here in the Kansas City Metro. Kind of come from that background in education and that mindset of knowing the importance of communication and understanding a borrower's wants and needs and how we can educate them on the mortgage aspects of what it takes to achieve their goals financially. And as you mentioned, we've been working together a long time, and I think something that both me and my team, and certainly you and your team, embody is that educator's mindset.
Yep.
Clients for life as a result of making sure they're taken care of and educated throughout their process, whether that's a buy or sell for you and for us working with those buyers to make sure we're achieving their goals.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I know, I think I've told you this before, but we get the feedback, after someone talks to you, is like, man, yeah, you just sat down like, well, not a lot of lenders have buyers coming into their office anymore, but I know that's one of your things. You like to have them sit in front of you face to face and be able to explain and show them exactly, the steps that they're going to go through. So I think that's key. And I love that, as far as, and we try to do the same thing, with sellers and buyers, just educate them on what their steps are. I mean, there's just so much information online these days, but it's very confusing until you kind of put it, in order and organize it for them. So,
Exactly. And from the get-go, that's been such an important part of what we're going to provide your clients always is that face-to-face interaction, that client meeting where we really take that dive into what are your home buying goals from a payment standpoint? Where do you need to be financially to achieve your budget goals? From a cash to close scenario, what assets are you working with? And then once we have those numbers, it's simply a matter of how can we best position your clients and our clients on that buy side to achieve what it is they want to achieve. And we do. We take a lot of pride in that. My classroom has just shifted. I went from having a classroom of 25 students to a classroom when I meet with your clients of, the buyers and their families often come with them to those meetings. And again, we take a lot of pride in that just as you do. We think that's really important.
yeah, yeah, that's awesome, man. um, so let's talk about the market because I know
Talk about it.
that's what's on everyone's mind right now. And gosh, it's day to day, navigating this market and just inventory and rates, you name it. I mean, it's just constantly changing. I mean, that's the one constant right now is change. So tell me, what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, from the mortgage side, I think you hit the nail on the head. It is a day-to-day, hour by hour volatile market that we're in, from a financial perspective. We've obviously seen rates climb at climb to levels we've not seen for a long time, but just the rapid ascent in rates and how volatile the markets has been something that we've not had in this industry for quite a while. The last couple of years we had a period of really low rates. They were pretty docile. There wasn't a lot of bouncing around back and forth. And 2022 has been the exact opposite. We started with rates in that 3% range, and they have climbed quickly, to say the least. So again, the importance of meeting with buyers, really understanding what their goals are, and explaining to them a rate and a payment isn't a forever thing, right? When there are opportunities to refinance down the road, and what that looks like on a case-to-case basis with folks is something that we're certainly working to educate them on.
Yep. So what's that quote? Date the rate, marry the house, date the rate.
Yeah.
Like you said, you can always refi when rates do go down.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of different reasons for people to refinance in the future, but certainly rate decline is one of them. So that's something that we're going to explore with folks.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. I mean, you say that like it's comical almost, the fact that this year started out in the threes and we've almost doubled, in what, 10 months? But historically speaking, I remember, when I first got into real estate sales is when I was an investor before that, and I kind of looked at rates a little bit, but not as much as when I got into sales. And so 2007, rates were like where they are now. They're like 6.5%, 7%. And then, over the next few years, it's like they started dropping down to the fives. And we were telling all our buyers like, oh my gosh, you'll never see rates in the fives again. Like buy, now. And then, man, they just kept dropping and down in like the twos or something, I think, wasn't it? So,
there were periods the last couple of years where, you had 30-year fixed rates, in that upper two range.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then, so now they're climbing back up, there's still historically low rates, but a lot of these buyers, haven't been in the market, and seen anything above like a 5. So to them it's high, but relatively speaking and historically speaking, I mean, rates are still low today. So it's one thing that I know you and I both try to educate our clients on is like, this is not bad, I mean, it's worse than it was a year or two ago, but, or even, months ago, but it's still on the low side. But, with that being said, I know what prompted this, interview and video was, like the rate buy down. We started talking about that, and that's kind of one thing that's helping some buyers out right now. Do you want to maybe give some details on that?
Yeah. So what's become a unique tool right now in order to help clients achieve payment goals with this period of rising interest rates is a program and a product that utilizes what are called temporary interest rate buy downs, wherein for 1 year, 2 years, or even up to 3 years, you can have a temporarily reduced interest rate of 1 percentage point, and the cost for it is simply the principal and interest difference in payments. So say, for example, rate today is 6.5%, and a client does a 1 year temporary buy down. For that first year, their interest rate and their payment schedule would be established based off of a rate of 5.5%. The cost to complete that is simply the payment difference between the rate at 6.5% and the rate at 5.5%. And what's happened in this market, and you're the expert on this certainly, Jason, is because of the change in kind of the market dynamics, seller paid concessions are back in a lot of cases. And a borrower's ability and a great agent's ability to negotiate seller pays, those funds can then be used to pay for those temporary rate buy downs. So when you have buyers making a move and the interest rate is causing them some angst or some financial difficulties in achieving their payment budgets, utilizing those temporary buy downs has become key. And again, helping clients meet their goals. And that's why, to circle back, we take so much pride in meeting with clients so we can take a dive into what those payment goals are and then game plan and structure things accordingly.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So we encourage all of our sellers right now to offer that. If it's in a price range where we know like the days on market is going back up. I mean, really, this market's just normalizing. And I think it's good for everybody because really buyers don't have to make a rush decision, and then wake up the next morning like, oh my gosh, what did I do?
Right.
So I think it's normalizing and helping buyers and sellers right now. But we're encouraging all of our sellers to offer a rate buy down or something to help the buyer out, and then kind of maybe shave some days on market off their marketing time. So yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, and I think if structured right, as you mentioned, it can be a win-win on the list side and on the buy side. Like everyone can
Yep.
achieve their goals, and communication is key. And that's again where you guys always do such a wonderful job in working to get your clients' best interests met. But that's done through communication and making sure everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, 100%. So we didn't really talk about this. I'm gonna put you on the spot, but anything else? Any other tips or tricks you would share? For a buyer right now in this market?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just that open communication between agent, lender, and client. The more we can know about the goals that they have, the better we can work to position things to achieve those goals. So just being open and honest and really taking that deep dive into what they want to get done so that we can all work to make that happen for them.
Yeah. No, I agree. Communication is key. So, well, man, I appreciate you jumping on today. This is exciting.
Absolutely.
No, I just, want to get the information out, educate as many people as we can, and help them navigate this market right now. So, I really appreciate your time today.